This video is going to be a little controversial, so stick with me for about 30 seconds, I'll break it down for you. And no, it's not controversial because you're going to watch me shaving. The reason I talk to you in such a somber voice today is because about a week and a half ago, 30% of Americans on food stamps received automated phone calls from the government telling them that their food stamp allocations are going to be cut down by about 90%. Now, this is troubling and alarming to me as a medical professional because a lot of people rely on food stamps to get by day to day. And I'm not here to tell you that there's not any abuse of the system, that people don't trade it for, drugs or alcohol or those kind of things. The reason I'm talking to you in such a somber voice is because cutting livelihoods of individuals by 90% isn't really sustainable for life. Now, the other part of the controversy that comes in is that recently, if you guys kept up with the news, about 3 months ago, the federal government bailed out several different banks and are still bailing them out. The reason why they're bailing them out is because the banks themselves had their regulation, their checks and balances reduced in the last 4 years, and they started taking risky bets. And what I mean by risky bets is they started betting on bonds. And because the bonds themselves have increased in return, which is the yield, those bonds that were purchased by these smaller banks several months ago before the Federal Reserve started raising rates have now become all but insolvent. What I mean by insolvent is that the money has already been lent out to the federal government from the banks in the form of purchasing bonds. And the bonds still carry their inherent value, but they're not liquid. So because there was a run on the banks and people wanted their money back out of Silicon Valley Bank or any of these other banks that are regional and small, they had to sell their bonds in the open market at a loss. So the federal government bailed them out for $300 billion. Not only that, we've sent hundreds of billions of dollars overseas for wars. But for some reason, we think cutting food stamps is where we need to save money. I think this penny pinching is foolish.